Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Justin. In this video, I will show you how to count the occurrences of an element in a given list in Python using Jupyter Notebook. Let's get started. I will be using Jupyter Lab in this video to demonstrate the code and execution of the code and visualization of the results. If you are interested in using this as well, I'm including a link in the description of the video. You can follow it and follow the instructions on the link and get it up and running on your own machine. To demonstrate the count of elements in a list, we will get started with declaring our list. So my list is going to be named my list because it's my list, and the list will contain characters like strings and integers, and we're just gonna go down and declaring it. Now our list is declared. Let's verify that it's actually assigned for those who are not familiar with Jupyter Lab to visualize the data that we are working with. So print my list, and you can see that all the items are assigned and present as declared on the first line. Moving forward on how to count the occurrences of elements in this list. For that, I will be using my personal favorite collections.Counter module. So from collections, import counter. And the way that we're going to count it, we're just going to initialize the counter object with my list as the parameter. So C counted equals counter and pass my list as a parameter. So what this will do is it's going to count each item in the given list and generate a dictionary object. It's going to appear as the counter object because the wrapping class itself is counter. However, it expands from dictionary, so it has all the attributes of a dictionary. So let's visualize this data in the format of a print. So print, and we will see C counted. You can see that our counter object encapsulates the data that we need, and it already counted each element in the list and assigned the amount or the occurrences of each character of the list as a value to it. To make it even more accessible, if you prefer that you rather deal with dictionaries directly, you can just convert into a dictionary. So C counted equals dict and pass C counted as a parameter to it, and this should make our object into an actual dictionary. As you can see, again, now the counter object is gone away. Now it's a standard dictionary object. So this is one way of doing this. And the second one is you can do you can generate a dictionary using list comprehension, more like a dictionary comprehension, and using the actual count attribute of a list object. Every list object has my list. Every list initialized in Python has a method called count. So you can simply call this method onto the list object itself. For example, I'm going to reference the 1 here and then see how many times it actually happens. It actually occurs in this list. To do that, it tells us that it occurs twice, which is the same value that we would see right here. So to make this into a more complete outcome, we're going to say n counted equals initialize a dictionary in the form of curly brackets, and then we're going to say item, and then my list dot count item for I in my list. So what we are doing here is we are iterating through the items in this list, and then we are counting how many times that particular item occurs in this list, and then we are assigning the value to it as a key value pair, generating this dictionary as a dictionary comprehension. So let's execute this and then see what the results are. All right, it executed without any errors. So if you want to go ahead and print the uncounted, it should give us the exact same result that we see on here. So let's execute it. You will see that A occurs twice, B 3 times, matches that, C occurs twice, 1 occurs twice, 2 occurs once, 3 occurs once, 4 occurs 3 times. If you want to even be more precise in comparison to make sure that they are actually exact values, you can simply do C counted equal operator and counted. As you can see, it returns a true outcome. We have demonstrated the two different methods of counting the occurrences of an element in a Python list using Jupyter Lab. And now I would like to also test which one is more efficient in terms of resources and time, so you can make more informed decisions moving forward on how to use each one in which conditions. For that, I'll be using my terminal. So let's go ahead and create a Python file. But before we do that, I'm going to create a new virtual. I'm going to switch to my virtual environment for my Python. So we have activate YT, when I created for YouTube. And here we're going to create a file called I'm going to do exp counter.py. So for this one, we're going to be using the same modules, but also on top of that, we will also use the time module to keep track on the duration it took to perform each of the iterations. So let's go ahead and import it. Import time. We also still need from collections import counter. So far, this is pretty much the only thing we need. Now, I'm going to be creating two different function declarations so they can give us the information regarding how long each process took in its own scope. So let's get started with nCounter. This is the same one that we use for the dictionary comprehension. It's going to take the list as a parameter, and then from there, we're going to be initializing a track on the time. Start time equals time.time. So basically what this will do is it's going to take the current value of the time and assign it to this parameter so we can compare it after our comprehension has taken place. So let's go ahead and count it parameter. And basically we'll do the same exact thing. L.count. I for I in L. Very straightforward. Same thing we are doing. We are iterating the items in the given list and then counting each item that's in the iteration against the list and assigning how many times it occurs as a value to itself. So let's go ahead and calculate the end time. Now this time the end time is going to be equal to time.time minus start time. So basically, we are just calculating it in seconds, how long it took to perform the action in the second line of this function, starting from here to here. So let's go ahead and print it out. We don't really need to return anything. We just need to see how long it took. So we're going to say n counter time, and we will say end time. Very straightforward. And then let's go ahead and create one more. This one is C counter, the counter. And so we'll also take the list as a parameter, and we will do the exact same thing, initializing our time tracker, the start time. And then our C counted is going to be counter, initialize it and pass our list. And then end time, same as before, equals time.time minus start time. And let's go print this out. We will say C counter time and spell, and then we will do end time. So right now everything is straightforward. The next step here is that we're going to be declaring our list. So this list needs to be significantly bigger than the list we experimented in the previous section. So I'm going to do my list equals list. I'm going to give this a range of 50,000. So 50, 500, 5,000, 50,000. I think they should give us a pretty clear contrast on how long each one is taking. Also, we can play around with the number if the outcome comes out too close. So let's go ahead and run the first iteration with the C counter and then see how it performs. And then immediately followed by the comprehension counter, which we called as the N counter. So let's go ahead and initialize C counter and simply pass my list as a variable. And then after this is done, we will follow it up with N counter and then see which one is taking place. Also, just for like more visual aid, let's go ahead and create started counter, and then we will say collections.Counter, just so we know which we are talking about, which we are looking at. And then in this one, we will say print started counter dictionary comprehension. All right, I think this is ready to go. Now we can just go ahead and test this out. Oh, let's pass the list as a parameter and let's look at the results. So I'm going to save and quit, and all we have to do right now is Python expcounter.py. So let's sit back and relax. Wow, the collections.Counter was significantly faster. It didn't take no time at all. That's insane. And the other one is 11 seconds for 50,000 records. So just to clear any doubts, I'm going to change that number to maybe like 100,000 and then see how well it performs. So let me go ahead, open up my file again, and then let's make this 100. So 100,000, simply save and quit, write and quit, and then run it again. Wow. It's not even like 1,000th of a second. It's insane how fast the collections.Counter is. And we are still waiting for the dictionary comprehension, because I know that that was already inefficient, but I did not expect the collections.Counter to be this fast. Apparently I made a typo there on the started counter for the dictionary comprehension. So we're going to wait it out. Oh, wow. 47 seconds. Oh my God. Yeah, guys, as you see it, this is not an efficient way to count the occurrence of any element in any sizable list object in Python. So the most efficient one so far I've seen is the collections.Counter module. So I would recommend you guys go ahead and use that one instead of the other one. So I will also include the links to all the tools that I've been using, and also a GitHub repository URL to this code itself, so you can experiment with it yourself and go from there. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you have any questions or concerns, please ask your questions in the comment section below. If you want to catch me programming live, you can also follow the links in the description of the video to ask your questions in person. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. Have a great day.